Hey guys, this is Sparkblood Soldier here, and this is my part 3 on what if Deku had Skrill abilities, Storm of Rage. And I hope you like this video and hope you subscribe. The next day, Deku went to school and in a little annoyed mood with Shoto, but he won't get that out of his head. And Deku thinks, this kid is pissing me off. Just leave it be and I'll just walk it over. And when Deku says that, he sees a van and bunch of news reporters and paparazzis. And Deku says, what the hell is going on with this? And then thinks, maybe he's there. And when Deku walks to school, a news reporter asks him, can you ask me how All Might is in the school? And Deku says, and Deku thinks, yep, figured. And Deku thinks, I think he's a good teacher? I'm just confused, just a little frightened on how many paparazzis are in, with all the cameras looking at him. Deku flew past them before they get making him a little anxious. Deku goes into the cafeteria with sitting down, eating his meal. Deku thinks, why does this always have to annoy the hell out of me with news reporters coming out everywhere? And when he thinks of that, a person goes and sits down with him and says, boy, you really made out to have a very eccentric personality. And Deku looks and sees Denki, and Deku says, who are you? You don't remember? I'm Denki Kaminari. I'm the guy that used electricity. And Deku says, oh, right. Yeah, my quirk is just unique to see you with a quirk like that. And Denki says, mine? Your quirk is more impressive. And Deku says, huh? Really? You barely even used any electricity. Deku says, well, yeah. If I spent it on melting on ice, then I'll be affected with so much water that could shock me. And Denki says, so that makes it hard for you to get around. And Deku says, yep, lightning and electricity with water does not mix. Denki says, all true. Even water can cover through it. Deku sighs. And then another person sits down. And another. They were sitting with Deku and Denki. And says, oh wow, didn't expect you to be so friendly. You were giving off a glaring face of pissed off. And Deku says, sorry, I was more angry with that red and white haired kid. And the girl says, it's fine. My name is Achako Uraraka. It's very nice to meet you. And Deku says, it's nice to meet you too. And the other person says, yeah, my name is Kirishima, and that is an awesome quirk you have. And Deku says, thanks. Having a good amount of time with before they hear the villain alarm, and all the students go in a panic. And then Deku sees it's just the news reporters trying to get in. And then Deku tries to flap his wings, but too much crowdness. And Deku thinks, I got an idea. Hey Denki! And Denki says, what's the matter? What's up? I'm trying to get around. And Deku then says, can you use your electricity on me? And Denki says, what? Why do you want me to do that? And Deku says this, I can use my lightning jump to go on that roof, but I need enough energy to get it without any problem. And Denki says, but what about the injuries about others? And Zuki says, relax, I'm more of a lightning rod and can't damage anybody. Your proximity with me is close enough to 100. Try 1,000,000 volts on me. Denki says, alright. And Denki uses his electricity on Suku, and Suku then says, oh yeah, let's give some supercharged. And Suku bursts into few seconds and gets to on top of the door and tries to explain to the students that it's just the news reporters and no villains, and we're supposed to fight them as well. So all the students were calmed down and becomes a normal day. Then all of Class 1A go on to the bus to go to USJ. Both Zuku and Todoroki were sitting on the bus to go on USJ, and they are super pissed. And Zuku says, why am I not surprised? Because fate really does exist. And Sho says, I was thinking that you should have been out of school for a minute. And Suki says, let's just get this over with. I'm sorry that I got pissed off of you, but you need to understand that what you said was not cool. Even I have hesitation on what I say, but this one of the reasons I get angry. I've been bullied. You have never faced that. Shoto says, faced? I was merely scarred by it. And looking at his scar, and Suki says, huh? What do you mean by that? Shoto points at his scar. You're not the only one that dealt with a past that you hate. And Suki sighs and says, I got a similar scar as well, but unlike yours, mine lasts for a bit. And showing a taser scar. And both were not on equal footing, but they tried to be reasonable them each other. And they got off the bus and were met with 13, and 13 explains that all the quirks are dangerous, even the simplest ones, but you have to control them. And Zuki sighs and says, I learned that one the hard way. And 13 says, oh, Zuki, you had the most hard training with Ryoko, right? How's she doing? And Zuki says, she's doing good. I'm just glad that she helped me. And 13 says, good. It's very nice to see you. And all the students say, you know each other? And Zuki says, yes, we go back a bit. She was the one that helped me versatility with my speed. I was more focused on how to control my electricity more. But Yoko also asked her to help me focus on my speed, which I hold back most of the time for obvious reasons, because I do not want to hurt anybody. And Choco says, wow, that's awesome. The number 9 hero's son getting training with other heroes? And Suki says, yeah, let me explain it simpler. I'm not really And when tries to explains it to her, black portal appeared out of nowhere, and villains were coming out. The teachers and students shocked, but the students say, are we doing the training now? And 13 says, no, those are real villains. And Sukiya smells, huh? What the hell? Is that corpse? And the 13 says, Sukiya? What do you mean by corpse? And Zawa says, does that mean somebody has a decaying quirk? And Zuki says, yep, something smells off to me. And he sees a man with hands that were on his body. And Zuki says, "Ah, gross. I can't believe I smelled decayed hands." And 13 says, "Are you sure it's his decay quirk?" And Zuki says, I can't even tell. Ugh, that is bad. I can't even tell." And Zawa says, "I'll go take them on." And sprinting forward, taking down the villains. And while 13 tries to get the students back away from the fight, a certain man says, "Greetings, my name is Tomagiri. We are the League of Villains." And all the students were keeping their guards up, and 13 as well. And 13 says, "What do you want with them?" And Tomagiri says, "Don't worry, we're not here to hurt them, but we are bargaining with them." And Sugu, when said that, Sugu used his electricity to shoot a lightning bolt at him, and Tomagiri was teleporting the lightning bolt somewhere else. And Sugu looks at him. How did he? And Tomagiri says, "How rude. Now, face the true power of the League of Villains." And Tomagiri teleports all of Class 1A and half of Class 1A to different places. And Sugu was taken to the water zone, where he's have a love-hate relationship with it. Yeah, guys, stay out of it! And flying with his wings and going on the boat, and sighs and says, "Well, at least my work isn't useless." And then he said that a purple-headed grapefruit-looking pervert gets slammed on the boat by a certain tongue. And Sugu says, "Ooh, how's the floor doing for you?" And Mineta says, "Ugh, worth it." And Sugu was confused on what he meant. And seeing Sue coming out of the water and on the boat. I guess, did he? And Sue says, "I don't want to talk about Kero." And Sugu says, "I don't mind my business. So, I think you got a perfect quirk to deal with them. Me." And Sue says, "But you also are weak against it as well." And Sugu says, "They can't touch me." And then Sugu says, "Come on, I'll allow you to go on me, ride me." And Sue says, "Are you sure? How much can you carry?" And Sugu says, "I can carry a large stone with my arms. Think how much I can carry with one person." And Mineta says, "Alright, your quirk is going to be super useful." And then Zuku realized, your quirk is rubber, right? And Mineta says, "Oh, my balls?" And Sue says, "Your electricity covers your body." And Suga says, "Yeah, well, that'll dry you off with my electricity heat." And Sugu heats his breath, drying both of them off as quickly as they can, and flying, shooting electricity from his mouth to stun all of the villains with minimum ease. And Sugu flies to the land and looks around and says, "Ow, son of a bitch, I hate water." Sue says, "Then why did you stop here?" "We need to hide and check the view." And Mineta says, "So your quirk is useless in the water, but useful out of the water. It's kind of a mixed bagging." And Sugu says, This is one of the reasons. Electricity can be distributed salt water because electricity gets freely flowed, and so is lightning. But it can also be a perfect ionized path as well. So it's a double-edged sword. Yep, and I do not like it. And Suku and Su and Mana look at Zawa, and he was taking down all the villains with his scarf and his broken arm. And then he got pounded on by the Nomu, and then Shigaraki was going to decay Su, but Suku intervened in a few seconds and shocked him, and Shigaraki says, "You have some reflexes there, kid." And Suki says, "I won't allow you to touch anybody. You give off lots of decay off those hands, and I cannot." Ugh. And Shigaraki says, "So you can tell I can use my quirk to decay." And Suki says, "Well, you can finally get over your obsession on hands." Whatever. Nomu, take care of this kid. And Suki says, "Su, Banana, get Azawa." And Suki flies in the air, and the Nomu uses fist to propel air from his hands and shooting him at Suki. Suki dodging and outspeeding concussed air from the Nomu. And Suki says, "Sorry pal, but I'm fast as lightning." And Shigaraki says, "So is All Might." And Nomu comes across Suki, and Suki was shocked, and Nomu ready up a punch to knock him back in the ground. But Suki dodges the punch that could make him go down, and Suki says, "Phew, he's as fast as All Might. Strength equal to him, but I can take him out. Gotta keep my distance." And the Nomu then jumps in the air again, and Suki says, "You did it again?" When he was going to dodge the Nomu wasn't going for a punch. He grabbed Suki's tail, and Suki says, "Ah!" flaps his wings. Holy shit! He weighs like a frickin' ton. Usually I lift boulders, but what the hell is it with this guy? And then, when the Nomu was going to throw Suki to the ground, Suki uses electricity to shock the Nomu, but didn't have any effect on his arm. And the Nomu throws Suki to the ground, and Suki says, "Ow, that's gonna leave a mark, making a crater on the ground." And Suki standing up, cracking his bones. Ugh. Now this takes me back on Ryoko's training. Less tense. And Nomu was on the ground, and Suki says, "Oh shit, he's faster on the ground. I'm faster in the air, but I can't do this that quick. I need to take him out with a electric shock as quick as I can." Seeing the body cannot be affected by his shocks, Suki assumes he also has shock absorption, meaning can't use any affecting electricity on him. And Suki thinks and sees the easily unprotected place. And Suki says, "That'll work." Okay. Nomu goes for fast boot kick to knock out Suki, but Suki anticipates the boot kick and gets hit in the stomach by the Nomu. But when he does that, Suki says, "Sayonara!" and shoots a electricity the Nomu's head, firing a lightning construct that could fry the Nomu's brain in an instant. When he was kicked, all the electricity that was in Suki mustered and shocked the Nomu's head with one fatal attack. And when Nomu's kick propelled Suki's body, he, hitting the ground, stumbling, says, puking up all what he ate. Well, today was my best. In passing out, and Shigaraki scratching his neck, saying, No. My Nomu was the one that could have destroyed All Might. And this kid did it without any giving a second. I should get rid of him. And Tomigiri says, no, heroes are coming. And Tomigiri made Shigaraki go back, and all the heroes made it, and taking down villains. Sugaku gets the credit on taking down the Nomu, but has bad injuries, so he's in the medical bay, and Sugaku was trying to heal up. My skills may be strong, but they have weaknesses in my underbelly. And when he was trying to heal up, he hears Suku, and Suku sees Ryoko, and Ryoko sees Suku in a bad state, and Suku says, Mom, and Ryoko hugs Suku tightly and says, sorry I wasn't there. And Suki says, it's okay, Mom. Well, it's the first time I take down a villain. And Ryoko hugging Suku tightly, and Suku feeling his body hurt from her tight grasp, saying, Mom, can you let go of me, please? And Ryoko trying to not let go of Suku, and Suku sees Ryoko's face and sighs and says, I'm fine, but I'm glad that I'm seeing my mom again. Hugging Ryoko, her mom, his mom, and then fully healed. And Ryoko tries to not go overboard on her anger on the school, but Suku calms her down a bit. And then precautions have been made in the USA, and the tournament has begun. And that's where I'm ending this video, and I hope you subscribe. See you next time. Plus Ultra.